I'm glad you joined us to craft together today. I hope you're having a wonderful summer and reading lots. This video is part of a series on the Take and Make crafts, which can be picked up at the Dryden Southworth Library, the Lansing Community Library, and the Tompkins County Public Library. Today, we'll be working on part 2 of the Moving Animal Craft Kit, which is making an elephant with a trunk that can unroll. The envelope that you will have picked up from one of the libraries will look something like this. So in the last video, part 1, we made a cat that has moving eyes. And in the second part, we're going to work with the remainder of these supplies to make an elephant with a trunk that you can blow straight. So for that, we'll need a straw, piece of paper, it's like kind of more rectangular, and then a square sheet of paper. And inside the extra supplies flap, if we open it up, there will be some stickers left over. First, we're going to work with this sheet of paper. I'm going to just fold it into a triangle. Trying to match the tip as well as I can. It'll look like that. And then I'm going to take this tip and fold it up part way. I'm just going to make an estimate here. I want it to be folded sort of like this. So it looks something like this. Now we're going to flip it over, and we have to make the elephant have ears. So I'm going to, as long as your points are mostly the same on both sides, it doesn't really matter which point you choose. So I'm going to just fold like this, and I'll try and match that on the other side at a point somewhat in towards the center from this one, and my triangle is about that big, that much angle of tilt, and there we go. So now we're going to move on to this piece of paper, and what we're going to do with this is we're just going to fold it in half the long way. Like this. And then we need to fold it in half again. There's a couple ways to do that. You could fold it in half like this, the long way again, or you could fold into the center seam, which I like that method. But my personal favorite is to take the halfway mark that we made and fold backwards to that mark, because then you can just line up this edge, and I find that that's a lot more accurate. So if you're ever doing origami and you're looking for accuracy, that's my trick. There we go. So now we have it folded in quarters, and what we're going to do is put this fold this way so they're all facing the same way. We're going to fold it once, twice, 3 times onto itself. And then we're going to have to tape this, so we're going to use these stickers. Though if you do have tape available, feel free to add tape even all the way down this length. First thing that we're going to do, actually, before we tape that, my apologies, so we're going to fold this end over and make sure that it's really tightly creased, because this is what's going to prevent your air from just blowing through the trunk, and make sure that your air actually straightens it. And then about halfway up, we're going to add a sticker tape. And if you want, you can totally add tape on this, but I know that we do not have any tape in our house right now, and we wanted to make sure that this craft would work even if you don't have tape. So now what we're going to do is flip this over. So you're going to have these little tails sticking up, and flip it like this. So you want to have this part with the fold pointing down. I'm just going to stick that under my computer. And I'm gonna line this up right about here. And I'm actually seeing that maybe I want to tape it on both sides so it holds better. And that's your choice. You can either take your sticker and tear it in half, which is what I'm going to do. You can use tape or really anything. Some people have even used glue sticks for this. I'm going to take this half of the sticker and I'm going to tape it like this, because that gives more area on either side of the seam that's holding onto each side. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Oops, wrong piece. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip this back over and we're going to start at the base of the trunk. We're just going to kind of fold it up. You want to be careful not to roll it because then it'll just unroll all on its own. But you do want to fold it. And if you get a little wrinkle, that's fine. Just fold over it. The trick to making this craft work, if you want to repeat it with other household supplies, is to use thick paper. Because thick paper tends to roll better. Give that a little squish. Now you're going to take this straw and I'm going to stick it into really any of the folds. The one that works best is the one closest to this back piece. And what might be easier, just spin it a little bit as you push it in. And what we're going to do is, we're just going to hold on to this for a second. We're going to let go. And let's go a little bit. And then pinch, take both your fingers and pinch this together. That makes sure that none of your air is going to escape, or at least a lot less of it is. Then you just take a deep breath in and blow through the straw and try and blow through the trunk, and that'll get your trunk to unroll. So the trunk unrolled a little bit. What you can do is unroll it and re-roll it back up. And by the time we get to like the second or third blow, it should be unrolling pretty dependably. And then, did you hear that sound? Is kind of weird sound. I forgot to pinch it. If you pinch it, it's not going to unroll. Once you've had a little chance to practice this technique and your paper settles into it, you're going to be able to take your elephant and have it totally unroll its trunk for you. Did you know that an elephant trunk can weigh up to 300 pounds? We're lucky that this elephant has a paper trunk, otherwise we wouldn't be able to lift our creation. Enjoy your crafts and feel free to share this video with your family and friends, and check out the other fun things to do in 4-H at sharethefair.org. Eleanor Roosevelt says, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Every dream is beautiful, no matter how hard it may seem. Every dream is worthwhile and a chance for an adventure. Have a wonderful summer, and keep reading.